Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome to Night City, the most notorious city in the world of Cyberpunk. It's a harsh world in Cyberpunk, and in this video we've got 5 tips that'll help you survive in Night City. But before any of that, why don't you go on ahead and smash that like button and subscribe to the channel while you're at it. Why are you calling me a cyber? Alright, let's begin. Earning money. Night City can be a very cheap world to live in, or it can be very expensive. It goes without saying that the best cyberware comes with a hefty price, and if you want to make it to the top, you're gonna need a lot of eddies. Fortunately, making money in Night City isn't hard. There are several ways to make money, from hacking terminals to crime fighting and completing side jobs. Obviously, the best way to earn eddies fast is to do it all at once by looting and selling them to vendors. Completing gigs and side jobs are your primary means of earning eddies, but you can always make like a vigilante and take out groups of gangs scattered all over Night City. And where there's a job, there will always be thugs. Almost every thug you meet will be carrying guns and junk. Pick them all up and sell them to the nearest drop-off point, which is conveniently all over the place. Class-specific moneymakers. But punch. Cyberpunk 2077 doesn't have a class system. Yes, I know. But for the sake of the video, we are breaking them down into classes. Now for solos, we have the advantage of being able to participate in fight clubs. Basically, these are jobs offered by Coach Fred, who you meet early on at the beginning of the game. So these fights are all throughout Night City. You can place a standard bet or up the stakes if you have the eddies for it, and if you're feeling confident. So if you win, you'll earn double the stakes. Netrunners, on the other hand, can hack terminals. Terminals are scattered all over Night City and are marked by a red hacking marker. All you have to do is jack into it and solve some hacking puzzles. Hacking terminals is one of the best ways to earn eddies, which can net you anywhere between 400 eddies to 1,000 eddies per terminal. Investing enough points into netretting to hack most terminals is a must if you want to make millions. Fortunately, you only need 7 points into intelligence to hack most terminals, and gain some levels into your hacking ability will grant you some additional perk points that you can allocate. Obviously, hybrids get the best of both worlds, but there's also another less popular way to earn eddies in Night City, and that is through crafting and engineering. Sometimes enemies will drop loot with legendary mods in them, but if you sell or dismantle the item, you won't get the mod back. Crafters have a perk that will allow you to get back those mods, which you can either sell for a good price or use yourself, which will ultimately save you some eddies for your build. Techies also have the ability to gain more out of their dismantles or craft legendary gear, which would have otherwise cost you thousands of eddies if they bought them from a store. Number 2, taking cover. No matter how you play the game, you're going to need to take cover at one point or another, even if it's for half a second. In one of my playthroughs, I play a ninja assassin that only uses blades, nothing else. No net running skills, no guns, just blades. That is to say, my character is very, very fast and can slow down time, but even then, every now and then, I need to take cover as I regain my bearings and map out where the rest of my enemies are hiding. Of course, this may not be necessary if you're playing a highly optimized character on difficulties lower than hard. Very easily get swarmed by gangs or taken off guard, as some encounters have enemies placed in very strategic locations, and some bosses might be more difficult encounters for different builds, so always take cover. Number 3. Drive, don't teleport. Although fast travel is the usual go-to for most players, driving or even walking around town does have its merits. Oftentimes, passing by an undiscovered area will have fixers calling you for gigs and side jobs, and procedurally generated world events do occur, which makes your average run-of-the-mill street patrol a lot more interesting. Sometimes you'll encounter an ongoing crime, or sometimes it'll be a couple of gang members talking gossip about you or the effects of your actions in the world. Either way, take your time to walk down the streets of Night City. It can be quite immersive, so get out there and take the scenic route. Get creative. There's always more than one way. Time and time again, Cyberpunk 2077 never fails to remind me that there are multiple ways to complete a job. Whatever your build, whatever your gear, your playstyle, if it's in Night City, you can probably do it. Several times have I been hit with a skill wall, and several times have I found ways around it. Sometimes I get into an encounter and keep dying thinking that this was the absolute best way to do it. But then I take a step back and reassess my skills and my situation, only to realize that I could have done it in a better way suited to my skill sets. Get creative and think outside the box. Number 5. Don't worry about your build. This might not be applicable to some, but one of the most jarring things you can do in Night City is to redo your character. Starting over from the beginning over and over just because you aren't happy with the current build can be exhausting and maybe even ruin your experience. Instead, play it out and test which gameplay is really for you. During my first playthrough, I wanted to create my version of Major, or rather, Major Makoto Kusanagi from Ghost in the Shell. I chose pistols with a bit of netrunning skills to serve as my support abilities. I also put in a bit of cool attribute, as well as for a while I wasn't happy with my build, but decided to keep playing. Eventually, I found out that for that playthrough I was using my netrunning skills way more often than my pistols, and naturally started to gravitate towards that. In the end, my version of Major became a very dodgy, aggressive, and lethal netrunner who could take out multiple enemies all at the same time, either in stealth mode or full-out combat. The game allows you to gravitate towards whichever playstyle you best enjoy, and you just have to give it some time. And there you have it, 5 tips I wish I knew before playing Cyberpunk 2077. Now get out there and have the city burn.